out of here. A cheek? Oh, yeah. We're on. Nobody told her.
It's like she's never watched the show before.
You gotta let people know when they're on. We need to
CJ.
on like.
Yeah, CJ.
Is that a producer thing?
I think so.
Yeah,
Add it to your
CJ.
duties.
I'll fill out that damn role one of these days.
Someday.
Someday.
Somehow. Some way.
Somehow. Song.
I don't think it's in the movie Aladdin. I think it's only in the musical Aladdin. Proud of Your Boy.
Yeah, that's only in the musical.
But was it in Aladdin 2?
Aladdin 2. Ooh.
I don't know.
I can't remember
It's in
Aladdin
the musical
2. I can't
Aladdin,
remember
and
the
I
songs.
don't love the song.
Oh, hey, go ahead and take care of it.
I think I might.
Go ahead.
But then I'm like, what if someday I forget about Aladdin the musical and Proud of Your Boy comes on? I think it was originally, okay, now that I'm thinking about it, I think it was written for the original Aladdin and it got cut for some reason. And then they put it in the musical version as like an homage to a cut song.
Okay. Is that a good song from the musical Aladdin?
No, it's like a sad song.
Exactly.
Proud of your boy, I'll make you proud of your boy.
Oh, because his parents are dead.
Yeah.
And he's
exactly.
a street rat.
I think he cries.
He's homeless.
Yeah, scoundrel.
Street rat. Can we still call them street rats?
I don't think so.
All right. I went walking down by...
But I do love that song. That song would never get deleted.
What, Street Rat?
No, One Jump Ahead.
Yeah, One Jump
Ahead.
One Jump Ahead is a banger. Don't delete that.
Only what I can afford.
It's
and
great.
That's everything.
It's great in the movie. It's great in the musical adaptation. It's also a banger on the video game.
I would say also a great workout song.
Oh, yeah.
A great run song.
Oh, yeah. Or a jump rope song, or just a box jump song.
Oh, yeah.
Anything involving your legs and jumping. I rock with that. That's some good stuff.
Forgot about that video game.
I always cheated to beat it.
What's up, everybody? It is Thursday, April 24th. It is going to be a good day. Jessica Benson with you from the Grind City Media Studios in Memphis, Tennessee. CJ Hurt behind the glass. Coming up on today's show, it is a Memphis Grizzlies game day. Game 3 between the Grizzlies and the Thunder tonight in Memphis. A series doesn't start until the home team loses. Can the Grizzlies hold on, steal one against the one-seeded Thunder? Brevin Knight is going to join us in studio to help us get ready for the game, to reflect on the series so far and what lies ahead for this Grizzlies team. We will go around the NBA playoffs. A tough injury for Jimmy Butler and the Warriors last night. Celtics and Cavs both went up 2-0. It is NFL Draft Day as well. And then we will end with some Theater Thursday, some movie talk. CJ and I will get into Sinners a bit more, an update on the voting for this year's Academy Awards. It's a busy day. It's a Thursday. You know what we say. Yippee-ki-yay!
Mother.
Bleepers?
Are you ready? Creed. By overwhelming demand, the Summer of '99 tour returns. July 27th, FedEx Forum. With special guests 3 doors down. And Mammoth WVH. Tickets on sale now at livenation.com. Creed returns, the Summer of '99 tour.
Bain drives.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
Close. He hits and the Grizzlies have the lead.
Yeah!
Jaron with a knockaway.
Good defense.
Durant attacking, spinning, hanging, and hitting.
Let's go! Let's go!
Shinedown. Dance Kid Dance Tour. Live in Memphis. FedEx Forum, Saturday, August 30th. With special guests, Bush and Morgan Wade. Get tickets now at livenation.com. Shinedown, live in concert. For more, visit shinedown.com.
Grizzlies fans, dunks, dimes, and no-looks are great on TV, but nothing compares to catching them IRL. And that starts with buying tickets at Ticketmaster, the official ticket marketplace of the Memphis Grizzlies and the NBA. Ticketmaster gets you to the game so you can catch every highlight in person. From seeing your favorite Grizzlies stars up close to hearing the squeak of the sneakers on the hardwood. Put that jersey collection to use and get tickets at Ticketmaster. There's no better brag than saying you saw it live. See you courtside, Memphis.
The new issue of Slam, the cover dropped, and it is our friend Jaren Jackson Jr. on the cover.
And shout out to you, Lane.
Yeah.
You kept, well, I mean, we knew about it, but you kept this a secret the whole time.
Yeah.
So shout out to you for
I
putting
wrote this story.
together.
We did the photo shoot a couple weeks ago here on a Sunday afternoon in the practice court. The Sneak Fest show, live Tuesdays at 2 p.m. on Grind City Media on X, YouTube, and the official Grind City Media mobile app.
Debo traded from San Francisco to the Commanders for a 5th round pick. There's no other sport where you would get a player of his ilk for a 5th round pick.
Over under total yards for Debo. If they set it at 1,000, you think he hits that over?
Total yards?
Total yards from scrimmage, total yards.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
The Odds Couple, live at 2 p.m. on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
Feels great to feel the sunshine. Gotta own the day like it's all mine. Just got paid in his own time. Been working hard, I've been on the grind. I deserve this feeling, having my way. I've been on this healing. This is my day. The sun's out, let's have a little fun now. I wanna let it all out. That's what it's all about. Cause I deserve this feeling, having my way. I deserve this healing. This is my day.
Grind City Media presents The Jessica Benson Show with CJ Hurt. Live from the Grind City Media Studios on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
What's up, everybody? Happy Thursday. Happy Grizzlies Game Day. CJ, I woke up pleasantly surprised to feel a little excitement in my soul. Just a little bit. Just a little bit, because this Grizzlies team can lose by 51, and then they can lose by 19, and you can be down 0-2 to the very, very good and seemingly inevitable Oklahoma City Thunder. But it's still a playoff game day here in Memphis, Tennessee. And I love playoff basketball. I do.
How many teams are in the NBA?
30.
So there's only 30 cities with the potential to have a playoff game. And how many actually get a playoff game on a given season? A playoff game.
16.
As big
Not
as
a play-in. Doesn't count. It's different.
That's postseason. That's not
postseason,
playoff.
that's not playoff.
As big as this nation is, and as many cool things that there are in this nation, you've got the Statue of Liberty, you've got the Sears Tower, you got the
Grand Canyon.
Grand Canyon,
Let's go natural.
Golden Gate Bridge. You got all of these cool things. They don't have playoffs though. Some of them might.
No.
Some
right.
places don't get to play in the playoffs.
The Space Needle, Seattle.
Space Needle.
Do you know how much the city of Seattle would love a playoff game?
They are
They
desperate.
are dying
Desperate.
for a playoff basketball game.
They don't got one.
They don't have it. No
They don't
chance.
got one.
They do in the W, but not in the NBA.
You're one
NBA
of
playoff game.
one of 16 cities
One
in this
of
here
16.
nation that can say, "Hey, we got a home playoff game in the NBA." So that matters.
It really does. And I woke up and it struck me, when you love someone or something, you show up in the hard times. Your support is not conditional. You can't be a front runner of support.
Isn't that the Grizzlies fan bases complain about these other fan bases?
Yes.
Is y'all are you're fair weather, you're bandwagon front runner.
Not really about it.
That's not what we're about as Grizz Nation. We show up through the good times and the bad times. Isn't that what y'all's whole thing is as Grizzlies basketball fans? Isn't that why y'all get so upset when the Warriors fans and the Lakers fans and the Celtics fans come through and the Luka Doncic fans come through? Isn't that what y'all be clamoring? Fair weather, fake fans. Y'all weren't there for the tough times. Here it is. Here's a chance for you to practice what you preach. It's kind of a tough time right now.
I'm not asking for delusion. I would never ask for delusion.
I push back on that greatly.
That I ask for delusion?
Desmond Bain All-Star Campaign 2024.
That had real legs to it, CJ. There was a path, and it ended up diverging into the other side of the woods, Robert Frost style. But there was a path where Desmond Bain was on the road to a potential all-star bid. He is an all-star caliber player at times.
I think everybody's on the road to a potential all-star bid
some
in
people
September.
are stuck on the curb, and they never get off the curb and start the little walk. And Desmond Bain had started the walk. But this time, I'm not asking for delusion. I'm not sitting here and trying to get you to conjure a legitimate belief that the Grizzlies are going to win this series against the Thunder, but I can convince myself that they can win a game. And if there is a game to win, it would be Game 3 tonight in Memphis, Tennessee, where the Grizzlies could deliver a surprise win over the Thunder. Like, if you're going to steal one, this is the one to do. And if you are on the fence about coming to Federal Express Forum to watch this team tonight, 8:30 p.m. on a Thursday, like, I would hate to miss the moment when John Morant lands the biggest dunk of the playoffs. I'd hate to not be in the building. I'd hate to not be in the building if Desmond Bain, one-time All-Star candidate Desmond Bain, makes 10 threes. Can you imagine? Just gets hot. The rims are more friendly here on the home courts at FedEx Forum. I would hate to miss Jaren Jackson Jr. having a putback dunk on one end and then blocking Chet Holmgren on the other. And you're like, the crowd goes wild. I would hate for the trick to be whooped and to not be here to be a part of it. Because listen, you only get a couple opportunities of that moment. And every single time it happens, it is truly a spiritual experience in Memphis. So I'm just saying, if it were me, well, I will be here. But if I were you, I would want to come down.
One of the great postseason traditions across all sports, I will say, is the whoop that trick at FedEx Forum. You want to be a part of that. So
when Ariel said part of your world,
yes,
she was identifying FedEx Forum in the playoffs.
Gadgets and what's it's aplenty. They got who's it's and what
growl towels
galores.
Yeah, that's how it goes.
You want to whoop those tricks? They've got plenty.
20. But who cares?
No big deal.
I want more. I want to be where the tricks are whooped. I want to whoop those tricks now.
Come on.
We lost it.
Twirling those, what do you call it? Oh, towels.
And for all the people, the towels are for the M because this series is for the M and tonight's game is for the M. And I saw some people be like, these are the same towels from the play-in game. Guess what? A play-in game is not a playoff game. So it was like a moment for the M.
How spoiled are you people?
So spoiled. It's fine. I understand being excited about like something new, but I do want to set the record straight. It is protocol. It is tradition. This is how we always do it. The playoff slogan is the growl towel for the first home game of the playoffs for the Grizzlies at FedEx Forum. So the playoff slogan this year is for the M, and the play-in game was not the first playoff game, so it will be for the M tonight. It will be something different on Game 4 on Saturday, and we will see what that is and what the vibes are. And yeah, I'm legitimately looking forward to coming and watching a playoff game because like CJ said, there are only 16 cities in the country who get to say that they host an NBA playoff game. Yes.
15 because LA's got 2.
Yeah, but Inglewood is technically not downtown LA, so it's...
Is Inglewood in LA?
Yeah.
Is it LA?
Okay, towns. Only 16 towns.
All right, you got it.
If we get into the specificities. I mean, they don't share a building anymore.
But they're still in LA. If there's a team in Memphis and then another team in...
I don't know. Some people don't want to... They'd say one's in Collierville and one's in Memphis.
Well, yeah, Collierville is a different city.
One's in Millington and one's in Memphis.
Millington is a different city. So if there's one here downtown and then one in Frazier, yes, Frazier is a different part of town, but it's still Memphis. Oh, I'm sorry.
Semantics.
I'll set the hell up.
Semantics.
I'm sorry for explaining to you how things work.
Brevin Knight is going to join us, and we'll break down tonight's game a little bit more. I did obviously in my household, watch the Warriors-Rockets game last night. Also watched the Celtics-Magic game. But it did strike me watching the Rockets-Warriors game, and this kind of goes to the notion of the gratitude that comes with hosting a playoff game and the non-guaranteed nature of that. And hell, like we just had that in Memphis last year in the season of injuries of no return, where there wasn't a playoff opportunity here in this city. But the NBA moves so fast, and watching Warriors-Rockets, it just struck me that like you get replaced so quickly. And I think the Rockets, at least in the current conversation of the NBA stratosphere, so seamlessly have merged into the role that the Grizzlies played 3 years ago when they were a 2 seed playing the 7-seeded Golden State Warriors. And the Grizzlies were in a position to put a stop to the dynastic nature of Steph Curry and the Warriors end up going to win a championship that year. And now it's the Rockets who are in that position. And just the similarities of the game twos of that Grizzlies-Warriors series and then the Warriors-Rockets game last night. Like, the Rockets got a crazy bounce-back performance from Jalen Green, who, after not having a great game in game one, goes off for 38 points. And it reminded me of Ja's game two, where he had 47 against the Warriors. And it's this like assertion of a rising star being ready for the moment and coming up big in a game where it counts. Şengün not being afraid of Draymond Green. Dillon Brooks is still out there, only now it's for the Houston Rockets. And we even have the same old fights between fan bases about perceived dirty plays and dirty players. And in the Grizzlies series, it was the game two, the Gary Payton play where Dillon Brooks broke the code and broke his elbow with that play. And then last night, it's the Jimmy Butler injury. And it was horrible to watch for the Warriors, where Jimmy Butler gets injured on this play where Amon Thompson undercuts him and sends him flying onto his booty. This is the kind of play where when he hits the ground, like I audibly yelled, "Ow!" because it hurts watching it happen. And the slow-mo makes it even worse. Butler would eventually leave the game. He'll get an MRI today to evaluate any additional pelvic damage, but it is being ruled as a pelvic contusion. And there you see Thompson under him. He goes flying. Oh, just right on.
Who's
right
complaining
on the
about a
cheek.
dirty play?
Oh, all the Warriors fans.
Okay,
I woke up to like 50s Zapruder style videos. Going back and watching, but this is how this works. I mean, going back and seeing other plays from Amon Thompson throughout the season and creating a narrative that he is a dirty player because of a variety of plays through the season. And then this play happens. And those kind of plays, they matter more in the postseason because all eyeballs are on them. I don't think it was a dirty play, but it was a stupid play. We just had this conversation with the play that ended up breaking Jalen Wells' wrist.
He got tripped into him, right?
If you look at the other
Draymond Green grabs him also.
No, if you look at the other angle, that angle makes it look like, but that's what we're doing. I was surprised it wasn't reviewed. I was surprised that it wasn't at least reviewed. Okay. We tend to review plays like that. And I don't think it was dirty, but I do think it was stupid. And we get to this point where it's like, okay, a play is stupid and has a bad result versus intended dirtiness and has a result. But anyway, these two teams are going to hate each other. At one point late in the game, like Tari Eason ends up throwing a towel in the middle of a little skirmish between Draymond and I think it was Jalen Green. And Jalen Green gave, who was it between?
Van Vliet.
And Draymond had gotten an elbow from Jalen Green in the game as well. And Steph Curry is getting held on every single play. And the physicality. Chris is going to fight you.
Come do it.
Fight you.
I don't shy.
If you could see the DMs that I woke up to this morning.
I don't shy away from physicality. You guys tell me which of these is supposed to be a foul. Because I don't see many, if any at all.
You can at least say that Steph Curry, for the position that he's in this league, gets a tough whistle, considering he's one of the stars of the NBA.
All right,
if this was happening to LeBron James, and I give Steph Curry credit, Steph doesn't flop. He's not putting himself on the floor.
Little pull right here in the tug. That's a foul. Jessica, I'm agreeing with you.
Thank you.
Ain't nothing going on here but bumping and grinding, baby. Now, I don't see nothing wrong
with a little bump and grind. I've heard, as they say.
Nothing here. Just look at Dillon. Damn good defense by Dillon.
Dylan's like, this is not my fight to fight this time around.
Go ahead, Fred Van Vliet. Little bump right there. Okay, now you can't hug him. That one was a foul. Jalen Green's was a foul.
Grab.
And that grab right there by Van Vliet. You say grab, and there's nothing here. There's nothing there at all. What are we talking about? Warriors fans are the biggest damn crybabies in this damn league. My goodness, y'all know why the league is so damn soft.
Every fan base is a
You're playing basketball.
fan
You're
base.
gonna get bumped. You're gonna get touched sometimes. Good grief! Stop crying about it all the damn time.
When you have Ime Udoka on a hot mic last night,
saying grab him,
saying grab him, yes.
Yeah, that's what, he's a good
because
coach.
they're not going to call it.
He's a good coach. That's what you're supposed to do.
It got to the point. Did you watch the entirety of the game?
Yeah.
The fourth quarter was like a different sport. Like it got out of control because the refs allowed it to go from the beginning. It was the most physical game all around that I've watched of this postseason so far. And they've allowed them to play.
Have you watched Pistons?
Yes, I have watched Pistons Knicks, so I'm saying
it's
that
not.
with fortitude.
No,
Yes,
it is not the most physical. This game pales in comparison to what's going on in some of these other series. We're whining
Pales
and
in
crying.
comparison.
Pales like
Pales in comparison.
Pales like
Jimmy
light-skinned
Butler
Steph Curry.
has a pelvic contusion.
That was on accident.
Because they were playing to a style where you're throwing bodies around and it leads on and Thompson into a role
that's
where
where
he's ending up.
You're supposed to throw your body around when you're going after the loose ball.
You don't want people to get hurt, though.
Injuries happen.
Injuries happen.
Injuries happen. I don't want anybody to get hurt, seriously or otherwise.
And if it gets to the point where it's out of control, that's what you're going to get.
It's not out of control. It's only out of control when somebody, I guess, decides to swing for some unbeknownst reason. You're calling that game out of control physically?
I think by the fourth quarter, it was unraveling to a point where they couldn't do anything
70s
about
basketball, 80s basketball, 90s basketball.
Were you alive in the 70s?
2000s basketball. I see highlights. 2000s basketball. That's common. Nobody's getting called for that then.
Okay.
You people are why this damn league is soft. You people. And give me the camera. You, Christopher Luther, and your Warriors brethren and sistren. Y'all know why this damn league is so damn soft. Because you think every time you get touched, you're supposed to get a damn whistle. No, play through it. What are we talking about here? Good grief.
We're going to take a break.
Okay, you gasped like something bad happened.
Somebody in the chat said Jessica knows who pays her bills, and I thought they were implying that Chris Luther pays my bills, which he does not.
No, they're
we
talking
are
about
an
the
equal
Grizzlies.
household, but they were talking about when we were saying for fans to come down to FedEx Forum. So it's all good. It's all good. We're going to take a break. Brevin Knight's going to join us. We'll ask Brevin's take on last night's Warriors-Rockets game.
I guarantee you don't want Brevin's take.
Oh, I always want Brevin's take
We love
on
Brevin's
everything.
take. Yeah.
Because it's Grizzlies, Thunder tonight, and you want to know who we get to hear on the sweet call of the game?
Do we get the guys?
Brevin Knight. Thank God for the Grizzlies broadcast crew. Brevin will join us when we come back.
We touched on this earlier, the panel here, about what really has been the mainstay of the Grizzlies, and that's Jaren Jackson Jr. Trip has just been awesome.
He's posting guys up. He's stronger than he's ever been. He's physical, and he's scoring all type of ways.
Hey, Grizzlies fans, be sure to tune in to Grizzbeat, where the panel and I break down all things Grizzlies and take a look at the rest of the NBA as well. The show is live every Wednesday, 2 p.m. on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
There's nothing like playoff basketball.
Boy, nothing like playoff basketball in Memphis.
The atmosphere of a Grizzlies playoff game is super exciting.
Oh my God, it's absolutely electric. I love seeing the crowd out.
Everybody's just screaming their heads off. You feel like you're in a movie.
People are down here. Everyone's got on their Grizz gear.
The city's excited. Everybody's excited to watch. There's really nothing like it, and I really can't wait.
Kroger shoppers and Grizz fans, one exclusive last-minute discounted ticket deals texted straight to you during the Grizzlies 2024-2025 season. Sign up with the new Kroger Buzzer Beater deal. Fans can sign up by texting Grizz to 636-479 or visit your local Kroger store in the Delta Division and scan the QR code. By signing up, you agree to receive recurring automated promotional and personalized marketing text messages from the Memphis Grizzlies. Consent is not a condition of any purchase. Message frequency varies. Message and data rates may apply.
Thanks for showing up, Memphis. Nothing beats catching your Grizzlies IRL, and nobody knows that better than you. So next time you want to hit up a game, Ticketmaster's got your back with tickets to every upcoming matchup. Whether you're catching the Grizzlies at home or on the road, you'll find tickets at Ticketmaster, the official ticket marketplace of the Memphis Grizzlies and the NBA. Keep putting that jersey collection to use and get Grizzlies tickets today. There's no better brag than saying you saw it live. See you courtside again soon, Memphis.
Marcus Thornton could get buckets.
Don't do that.
You don't say? He had a lot of 30 balls in the NBA.
On who?
We better not see Marcus Thornton crosses over Tony Allen. Don't let us find that.
You forgot we got the internet, bro.
You said you might have done that. Hey, you always forget the internet exists.
The Chris Vernon Show, live on weekdays at noon on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
All you American wrestling fans out there, watching this international road to WrestleMania should be a wake-up call. Turn up at these shows. Stop being so spoiled, because Cody Rhodes, Cody Rhodes, Cody Rhodes,
I love it.
Cody Rhodes.
Let's go, Cena. Cena sucks.
Yeah.
I'm wagging my finger because you're telling those people that they need to do better.
Yeah. Tune in to Grind City Wrestling weekly on the Grind City Media app and on the Grind City Media YouTube channel.
Grizz Nation gets set for tip-off 1 hour before every Grizzlies home game with the warm-up show. Get the latest news, notes, and analysis live from courtside at FedEx Forum.
Who's going to be the tougher team that rebounds and prevents second chance opportunities?
Join me, Lang Whitaker, along with Michael Wallace, Jessica Benson, and other personalities from Grind City Media, Memphis, and around the NBA. 1 hour before every home game, live at Grind City Media on X, YouTube, and the official Grind City Media mobile app.
In break text from Chris Luther, CJ is crazy with 1, 2, 3, 7 Ys, and then a ha ha ha.
I'm sorry.
And then he said, "I love my baby, so I'm still married."
Look, wait. Are you the baby or is Steph the baby?
Oh shit.
Yeah, he doesn't love you. He loves Steph.
No.
He loves his baby Steph.
No,
Which
you're defending my honor the best you could. Listen,
yo. What do you want him to do, Jessica? Hey, excuse me. Steph, you're coming this way? Oh, my fault. Let me step back. I apologize for being in your way, Steph.
Lay out the carpet and say, "Steph, I would love to watch you take this insane shot."
Well, wait, I touched you? My bad, Steph.
Yeah.
I didn't mean to touch you. My fault. It won't happen again. Get out of here. You got me, Kurt. Go ahead.
Now in studio, it's a beautiful day. How can you not be excited on a day like today? When Brevin Knight comes in studio before his golf game, that's a real one. BK, thanks for coming in.
Oh, listen, whenever you guys call, I make sure that the tee time is set up just right so that I can get here first and still get back out and play.
It is an absolute honor. Did you watch that game last night?
I did watch, and listening to you two banter back and forth here just a minute ago is of course I'm going to lean towards CJ's side. Of course. Because that's the game that I played in. And I think that what happens in that is it also then highlights how good those players were back in that time when people just and I'm not a big game used to be. I don't do a lot of talk, but to see guys be able to still get open while being defended like that, and not just in playoff series, but defended like that for an entire season. Yeah. And so because you are, then you figure out and know how to play under those circumstances. So now there are certain ones, like you said, the grab around the waist. When you directly impede somebody from moving somewhere by wrapping them up, then I believe that a whistle should be blown. But a little bit of touching, because I always say for offensive guys, for Steph Curry, there's a way to get people off of you and to make them feel you by getting you off. So ever taking a hit to a defensive guy's wrist area right here hurts. A little shove in the sternum area when it's time to get open hurts. Exactly. So, there are certain ways that you can get yourself free that also inflicts a little bit of pain on a defender to slow them down from it just being a constant that they're doing.
Well, and to Steph's credit, he'll make insane shots through contact, and he'll find ways to get around it. I do think, because there's been this narrative ever since the playoffs started, it's not just the Warriors-Rockets series, but that series was loaded already. Anytime you have Dylan Brooks going up against the Warriors, thanks to the tracks that were set here in Memphis years ago, it adds a little extra spice. And this Rockets team is a team that prides itself on its physicality. Yes. But you'll hear people watching playoffs and be like, this is a different version of basketball than what we watched during the regular season. And a lot of that is rooted in the physicality. And to the officials' credit, they're letting them play. Watching the Celtics game last night, Kristaps Porzingis takes the elbow to the head. Yes. But you want to know what? He comes back. And I'm not saying, Jimmy Butler was hurt, and now you have to figure out if he can come back for this Warriors team. Right. But this is the playoffs. This is what it's all about. He has the giant bandage on his forehead. And
the
you're
blood
just
still down his head.
When it happened, like we were in the middle of cooking dinner. So I was turned the other direction and I hear someone in our household goes, "Oh my God." And you turn, and it's just blood everywhere. And you're like, what the hell just happened to this man?
It looked like old back
He
in the
said it was
old
his
school
WWE
wrestling.
moment.
Yes.
Joe Mazzulla said he loves watching Kristaps Porzingis bleed. That was a weird quote, but we get those from Mazzulla often.
I busted my head open basketball.
Did you?
Father Ryan rivalry game, junior varsity, went up for a shot. We were getting the hell beat out of us, and I was just like, if I'm shooting, I'm going to the rim. So I fought for a rebound. We played physical back in my day, Jessica. Shot fake. Dude came down. His elbow cracked the top of my head open. And nobody realized it. Blood is gushing down my face. Nobody's thinking about it. I'm going to shoot the free throw. Sweat is coming down, so I'm wiping my hands. And I look down. My whole hand is just red. Got stitches and played in the varsity game. Because that's when we were men, when we allowed physicality.
I'm just a baby. Watching the game yesterday, I did get very jealous. And this even came watching parts of the Cavs Heat game. The Heat put up a fight. The Heat put up physicality in that game last night. I want some of that desperately tonight. We did not see it in game one, certainly, where the Grizzlies lost by 51. We saw a little bit more of a fight. We saw an effort in game two. They didn't just lay down and die and lose by an insane amount again. But what can the Grizzlies do? Yes, the Thunder are a better team, but lesser teams beat the better team all the time. We see it happen.
Well, they got to play with an edge. Yeah. I think that's the thing that we haven't seen this entire season, honestly, on a consistent level, is the edge that we are accustomed to seeing from Grizzlies basketball. That's just the nature of how we have seen them come up. And it's not just people say, well, it's not the core. No, not just the core four. This present unit put together as they are now, they're minus the one guy who I said when he left was going to be, you just talked about, when he left, it was a huge part of who we were. And we have not been able to capture it since he's been gone. And so if they can find a somewhat of an edge, I think in these first two games, what we have seen is we've seen the better team, the higher seeded team play more desperate basketball than the lower seeded team, which is something that you don't normally see because the lower seeded team, you got nothing to lose, but you got everything to gain. We haven't seen that mentality from this team. We've seen a team that has just pretty much just taken what the Thunder have dealt out. Yeah. And that's not Memphis Grizzlies basketball. It's not what we've come to know from this organization. It's not what we've come to know for this team, to be a just sit back and take team. And so hopefully when they get here at home, we can see a level of consistency, a level of competition that we saw in the Dallas Mavericks game. And because you saw that, the outcome was what it was. But it was like I had a chill in the building. It felt like it was a playoff game, and it felt like playoff atmosphere. But it was because that's what was being produced on the floor. And so if they can have that type of production with that type of mentality, a sense of nastiness in some way, shape, or form. Not the friendliness, not the back and forth trying to talk to the other team, helping guys up off the floor. That's not what we do. Yeah. Like if you get knocked down, if it's not something that is malicious, that you really get hurt. Now, if somebody really gets hurt, you understand going over and be like, oh, bro, you're okay. But if they just fall down and on the floor, I'm not trying to stand around and make sure you're okay. We're not trying to help you up. I'm not trying to have back and forth talk with you during the basketball game unless it's talking junk. Outside of that, then we have been too friendly with this Thunder team. And for what reason, I don't know why, but some way, shape, or form, they got to find a level of swagger to give themselves a chance to win, but also just to give these fans the belief that they want to go out and win and that they can go out and win.
And I thought one of the important things with that game against the Mavs was the start. Like that start and setting both a tone, establishing your brand of basketball, forcing the Mavs to adjust to you, but it got the crowd into it too. And that's where the whole thing works together to come to a point. And against this Thunder team, like we said it after the game one, the Thunder might be better than you. They're not 51 points better than you.
No. And I thought that was a perfect storm game with the changing of the coach 9 games before, finishing out the schedule, playing the play-in game. You go up, fly out to San Francisco, you play that game, you play hard, just don't win it down the end. Then you come right back here. You got to get ready for a win or go home situation. You win that game. It's highly emotional. Then we fly to Oklahoma City the next day, and then we played a 12 o'clock game in Oklahoma City. So I felt like that was just a perfect storm for that outcome to be something that could happen.
Yeah.
And in game 2, I felt like, but nah, game 2, we're going to be all right, though, because it's the bounce back game. It's like, okay, you got some rest. You watched this, you saw what the intensity was going to be like. You felt the crowd. We'll come back and play it. And I felt like there was, like as you said, there was a better level of competition in game 2. But now you just have to have a better level of execution that goes along with the competition to give you a realistic chance of beating this team.
You can't miss your first 9 shots and not take advantage of them missing their first 6. You can't allow them to go up 20 because they are the kind of team where it just feels like an onslaught the moment that it happens. I'm curious your take on the starting lineup. And starting lineups are never everything. It's more who finishes or the variations throughout a game. But we have seen Scottie Pippen Jr., and he has risen to the occasion since being asked to be in that starting lineup against, he was guarding Steph physically in that play-in game. Even how he's guarded SGA. SGA hasn't really been allowed to get into a rhythm yet. But would you do something different just from an offensive or a size perspective going into this one? Because you do get into a place where it almost feels, I don't want to say it's the kitchen sink game quite yet, but you just try to throw out something and see if it's going to work.
Well, I said it even going into game 2, I felt like the one change or difference that may be there is if you took Scottie out of the starting lineup and you put Benson or you put Concha or you put a bigger player in at that position. And it's not because it's something that Scottie Pippen has done wrong. I thought the change in doing it for Golden State was good because of the amount of running around that Steph Curry is going to do. You needed someone to be able to match that energy level, to be able to be small and get through a lot of screens. And so I thought it was warranted. I think with this, it's not just who you put into the starting lineup, but we also need that pop off of the bench. And, like, that's what has been good for this team is that Scottie has been very good playing with that bench unit. The bench unit has been very good playing with one another because they know how to play with each other. Now, you can't discredit the loss of Jalen Wells. You can't discredit the loss of Brandon Clark and what that means in terms of rotation for this team. But I think if you want to just start to shake it up a little bit, if you allow Scottie to then come off of the bench, and now he becomes a more of your ball handler. He becomes a guy who is more active in creating things on the offensive end for that unit on the floor. But then there'll still be those times that maybe he and Josh still play together. But if there was one thing you say, what were you thinking? Even with game 2, I thought that was something that you could change just to try to mix it up just a little bit and moving forward. And so we'll see. I think that I think everything is on the board at this point. When it's at this juncture and the team has dominated the way they have, you got to throw everything at that board and see what sticks.
The one thing that you know is the importance of the big 3 showing up in another big playoff game. And this team goes by Ja Morant, Jaren Jackson Jr., and Desmond Bane. How have you evaluated their year-to-year playoff growth, but also the mental growth that we've had to see, and where can they continue to get better as a unit?
Well, I think the biggest thing is that they have to all be good the same time. Like you can't have 2 be good, 1 not, 1 be good, 2 somewhat good, all 3 somewhat good, because this team is not built to be able to survive against this level of talent with the 3 of them just being just good. And that's just the reality of the makeup of the team, but also it's a reality of what their skill set is. And you're not going to ask more of someone who can't do more. But between the 3 of them, I think the consistency has to be there. And their leading by example has to be their approach to the game. It's not just how many baskets you score. It's not how many rebounds you get. But your approach to the game and the way that what your body language is while you're playing the game, the way that you expect as much out of yourself as the expectation out of everyone on the team, and a level of accountability between each other. And so for the 3 of them, if one is not doing, then I would expect for the other 2 to be like, bro, you got to pick it up. Or if 2 are and the one's not, then, hey, bro, we need you to do more. I think that's when you want to talk about growing, there is basketball growth and then there is leadership growth. And if you want to talk about being a better leader, and that's what these three guys will have to be for this team, then accountability has to kick in at some point in time. And you have to be willing to receive what comes from these guys, because I think the one thing you can say is that they like one another. And so when you like somebody, you know that they only want my best at what they say. And so whatever is said to one another between the three should be received in a way as, okay, this is just trying to get me to be the best that I can be. And so I think that apart from just the basketball side, yes, you got to bring your skill every day. You got to be aggressive. You got to make the shots that you get. You got to create opportunities for others. The level of accountability for each other, just between the three of them, has to rise to a different occasion, to a different level, if they want to be where the Oklahoma City Thunder are, if you want to be where the Boston Celtics are, if you want to be one of these top teams, one of these top teams in the NBA, that has to eventually start to be a part of the communication.
Yeah, and even like you were bringing up, the lack of edge that we've seen on the court, that goes on the off the court and the leadership moments too. I know there's been a lot of clamoring from fans like, God, who's that player who's just going to light into this team and stop a 51-point loss from happening, or earlier this season stop a 52-point quarter from the Minnesota Timberwolves from happening. And so how does that work as a former player? Because there's one thing of sometimes it's difficult to listen to your peers, even when there is a respect there. But what makes a player that the other players listen to from your history?
Because the biggest thing is that they have to know that at the crux of it all is that you have the best interest of this team. This is not what you're saying is not personal in any way, but it is personal, because if you do it, it'll help me. And I just go back to a lot of it is, part of it is that's just your personality. Some people, that's just what you are. And there are other people where you try to get them to be somewhat of that. And so I harken back to even when I played, it was, I always say it was a little a-hole in me and when I played the game. And that was just because that's how I grew up. Like I grew up that way, playing in the park. You're only going to get the respect of those that you earn. And so when you earn that respect, then now you have a right to now say more, because they respect you in that way. And I think that this team at least has enough respect for those three guys that whatever they say, guys will listen to, if they still feel like you're doing it in the best interest of our team. And so, like you said, on the court and off the court, I always say this, and I said it before. The one thing that always got me with this team is the slapping five all the time. And people are like, what do you mean? It's like, well, should we getting our behinds kicked? I don't want to slap five with you. I don't want to slap five with you at this moment. Like it's not like, it's almost like I'm a big animal person, and the way that you with animals, the way that they kind of reaffirm their bond or their group is like they always got to touch. But we're already bonded, bro. I don't need you to touch me right now. Like, I need for you to go out and box out. I need you to rebound. I need for us, if we got to take a foul, be in the right position deep. And then on the offensive end, we're going to move the ball. If you got a shot, take the shot. And if you don't make it, so what? Let's just get back defensively and let's do it again. Like, that was always my mentality. And so I always say, people are like, bro, you look like it's like you're getting it too. I was like, yeah, because those are all of those old feelings of when you played or what it was like. Those things you try to keep away. I keep out of my broadcast, but it's still a part of me that will always be there.
Do you have a moment? I have several of those moments throughout my playing career, but I'm not as esteemed as the great Brevin Knight. Is there a moment that comes to mind, high school, college, or pros, where it is, hey, we're getting our asses kicked and somebody like, okay, we're about to scuffle as teammates?
Well, I would say I got the nickname El Diablo when I went to Charlotte, and I don't know if it's that's one of those nicknames that's like, oh, should I take this as
an honor?
Compliment, or like, is this something I need to work on? And I think it was just because we were not a good team. Like, we just weren't. We were an expansion team, a bunch of guys that just trying to figure their way out in the league. I was in my 7th year. I was trying to continue to prove that I'm supposed to be in the NBA. And I think it was, and at that moment, it was, I'm tired of losing. Bro, like this is not how, like, if we're gonna lose, we're gonna go out fighting every day. And so we would get in practice, and we would damn near have fights in practice because it was just like, nah, bro, like we not leaving this floor right now until we get it right. I don't care how it goes down. And Gerald Wallace was on that team, and he was as much of a competitor, and he and I would go back and forth. But then that was just the hate to lose. I think at this juncture, like with players, that hating to lose has to become bigger.
Mm-hmm.
Like, not just saying, oh, well, we got another possession, we got another game tomorrow. Like, just the hating to lose has to be something that really fuels you in some way. And so I would say for those 3 seasons, I was probably at my worst.
But I mean, it's not just hating to lose games. You got to hate to lose possessions.
That's right. Yes.
You've got to hate.
But if you hate to lose a
the
game,
failure.
the hatred of losing every possession adds
that's
up
where
in
it's
the
got,
entirety
because
of it.
it's to the point now with the Grizzlies right now where we showed the clip yesterday, Santi and Scotty both running for the ball and both pull up, allowing, I forget who it was.
Isaiah Joe runs in and then gets the 3.
And
that clip
take it.
Like,
And it's
perfectly
just,
symbolizes.
Like, what do you guys want this? Like, not only do you want it, like, is it going to hurt you to not get it? Because if it hurts you to not get it, if it hurts you to not win, if it hurts you to get your brain beat in, y'all are flying after that ball recklessly. Y'all are willing to run through whoever's in your way to get that ball. And too often, not just in this series, the 2 games, but too often during the regular season, dudes weren't willing to do that.
Well, I can say that I had my first NBA coach was Mike Fratello. And the one thing that he would do a lot of, which is he's a big test of your manhood person. Like, this is not a X and O situation. I'm not going to sit down and write anything else on this board. This is a matter of fact of you're going to let him continue to kick your butt?
Yeah.
Or you're going to go out there and fight him. Well, it's one or the other. And it was ironic that during this game, too, I get a text from Sean Kemp. That's like, is that my rook over there sitting there calling the game? I see you over there. There's some grades you're getting there now. Like, now you're getting older. And it just, at that moment, it took me back to, I used to yell at Sean Kemp for not getting in a position for me to get you this ball so you can help us win. Like, bro, I'm not running nothing else.
Yeah.
I'm gonna run turn 4. I don't care if the other team know. We run in turn 4. That means you're gonna turn off with Kemp. He's gonna post up. We're gonna throw him the ball. Nice. And so it was. So I say that is just to say, like, if people believe. Like, why in the heck am I yelling at Sean Kemp?
Mm-hmm.
Multi-time All-Star. Mm-hmm. I'm a freaking rookie 16th pick. I'm not the man that's supposed to. But he respected and knew that I only wanted the best for us.
Yeah.
In that way. And I think that these guys just have to get to that point where, like, that care factor is enough that I can get on you to be better. Jaren, I need you to be stronger with the basketball. Jaren, back to John. Hey, John, I need for your energy level to always be up here because everybody follows you. Dez, I need for you to be strong with the ball. When you get your shot, take your shots. And then everybody else, we got to get back on defense. Like you got to be able to say that to each other. And know what? For that person to be like, all right, cool, let's go.
So I'm going to ask you from the standpoint of someone you wouldn't expect to maybe have those conversations, but I think is built for them. And I could be wrong, but I see the a-hole meter. If we're making an a-hole meter of potential in this league with Draymond Green on one side, and Yuki. Okay, I was going to put Yuki Kawamura on the other, but Mike Conley on the other side.
That's definitely a spectrum.
That is a spectrum. Zach Edey, there's something in him where it's like I'm waiting for that piece of him to be unlocked. And I know he's a rookie and he's a rookie center, and there's been growth in a variety of angles, and there have been struggles in different parts of his game throughout this rookie year. But there's a little bit of a feistiness that I think can go to one additional level. And when you are the biggest player on the court, we've seen that evolution of Steven Adams, and he kind of came in with that edge. But I would love to see more of that edge come out from Zach. And this is a playoff series where you can grow despite the struggles that we've seen so far.
I think as the years go on, this will be very similar to as the years went on for him in college basketball. Whereas his first year, it was just, I'm happy to be here. I'm gonna learn and take it in. By the time you get to his senior year, you're looking at 2-time college basketball player of the year, but you're also seeing a guy who's more demonstrative, who's more vocal at that juncture. So I think in this first year, this is now a feeling out situation for him. And especially when you have guys like Ja, Dez, and Jaren on the basketball team, you're not going to overstep where you should be. And I think so for him, his feistiness is everything that happens on the floor within the play of the game. All of the other areas in terms of the talk, it is for him to use his voice in that way. I don't know if he's amassed the amount of time and the experience to be able to say those things at this point. And so I think as the years go on, that you can expect you may be able to have that expectation for him because of what you just said, the size he's out there, he's playing, his voice can be one that can be projected. But I think in this season, the biggest thing was to just show it in your play. Feisty in your play, no back down, continue to be a hawk on the rebound and set good screens. When you do catch the ball inside, finish with authority. I think though the worrying and understanding of how to play an NBA game had to be first before you become a leader of an NBA team.
You mentioned just in terms of potential changes to the starting lineup that you could, or options to throw in there. And you mentioned Vince Williams. And I was watching that Warriors game last night, and when Jimmy Butler gets hurt, suddenly we see Jonathan Kuminga. And Jonathan Kuminga did not rise to the moment. He had a chance to go out and say, look, I'm going to make Steve Kerr look silly for keeping me on the bench during this time. They really could have used my length, my defense, and instead he melted away in that chance. Just how difficult of a situation is that from a player perspective? And you have someone like Vince Williams, who was at one point this season, he's gone through 2 tough injuries. He was presumed to be that starting guy who would have allowed for the Jalen Wells injury to not have the same crushing blow that it ultimately did. But that hasn't worked. And when he touched the court, I think he had, 2 turnovers, 2 fouls in 3 minutes. So that was a tough, quick baptism. He gets taken back out. Do you still foresee an option to roll with Vince Williams at this point in the series?
I think you can, because you would hope that for him it's a remembrance of who you are. And it's not just making shots. Or it's not just making plays that made Vince Williams Jr. be who he was to this team. It was just going out and being downright dog on the defensive end, not allowing guys to get the ball, fighting through screens, rebounding the basketball. When you needed a 3, it would be like, oh, he kicked it out, he make a 3. But I just think that your confidence definitely takes a hit when it has been a little bit of a yo-yo situation, and when you've had the injuries that never allowed you to really get into the flow of the game. But at this point, I think you just have to go out and be like, listen, I got nothing to lose. Like, that's the biggest thing, like, for this basketball team is, and why it's been a little bit of a head scratcher, is you got nothing to lose. Like, there's nobody in America that was picking the Grizzlies to beat the Thunder with the way that they had dominated the last 2 seasons. So you just go out there now and just play your hardest. And so I think that you could get that from him, and the explanation is, I just need you to go out there, defend Shea as best you can, touch him as much as you can touch him, without getting in too much foul trouble. And then on the other end, when the ball swings and you're open, knock down a shot, don't overthink the offensive end of don't shoot, dribble, hit. Like, you know how to play with these other 3 guys. And I always say why it would be a good fit is because he's played with these other 3 at one point in time. And so you know what they do, and you know what your role will be with them, and your role is totally different than what it was last year.
Yeah.
It's not the same role. And so you got to go back to 2 years ago role, which would now put you in a better position to be successful playing with these guys. And so I still would, if it were me, I would still throw it out there and see exactly what you can get. Because like I said, I mean, what do the Grizzlies have to lose in trying something different?
Nothing. You have people trying to flex this game onto Tubi, Brevin.
But
I said, it's on FanDuel, please. You don't have to watch it on TNT.
Not at all. Watch it on FanDuel. But the biggest thing is I want people to come out. Like, we always love to have people watching on TV, and that's more so when we're away. But when we're at home, I would much rather have all those people that text us and tweet us and social, all of those things during the game. We love it. I appreciate it 100%. But I would much rather hear this building be absolutely raucous instead of having people. 2 people can watch if you would tell me that we sold out here in the building.
Because like you said, I mean, we weren't able to really revel in the play-in tournament win over the Mavs because it was straight to OKC, and then you lose by 51 on Easter Sunday. And so by the time we're all on our shows on Monday, you're not even able to, like, it feels I think I mentioned it just felt weird to still have happy thoughts about Friday because the result and the next thing up was that. But it was so awesome. Like it was just such a quick reminder of how special FedEx Forum is, and everyone was in on it. And by the time you get to the end of that game, and it's infectious. Like the whole thing is just
the music was good.
Thing.
Like we were back to Memphis
music. The halftime
music.
show was wild. They had a guy throwing knives at his wife.
It was
that
Memphis.
Was oddly erotic.
It
also.
was.
Like,
it was Memphis playoff
erotic.
basketball. Yeah. It was Memphis playoff basketball that we had. Of course, last season being a wash, what it was. We hadn't had Memphis playoff basketball with people that knew. We didn't have to tell people what to do with the ground towels. That's when I knew it was for real. Mm-hmm. Like it was just people just did it. It was great. And hopefully we can reproduce it tonight. But it still had with the people being there, yes. But those guys on the floor, that's what also created that environment.
Before I let you go play golf, who do you want the Giants to take? What are you hoping?
I'm no
Are we
longer a
off the
Giants. Yeah, I'm a Ravens fan.
Oh, okay. We've gone fully in.
Listen. When they signed, no, Jameis was fine. Russell.
Oh, that was it.
So
for
it was like, all right, Jameis, okay, cool. We just in case things don't go right with the young guy, you still got a vet guy there. But now you're going to get why we got 2 vet guys? That means to tell me that maybe you might not draft a quarterback, and I'm just like, bro, we need a generational quarterback, not washed up quarterbacks, not dudes that come in just to help you.
Abdul Carter changing the defense isn't going to get you excited to get back on the. No, that's okay. The Ravens are more fun.
I'm a Derrick Henry fan,
easy fan to be of.
Exactly. So kind of where he goes is where I go at this point. So the Giants will always be there because you can't turn your heart off. It's just who you grew up with, and you still have those memories. But I think until they change this GM, I'm not going back. I don't like him at all.
I'm happy
I don't like
for
his
you protecting
attitude.
your peace.
Yes,
Protecting
100%. That's what I have to do.
All right, BK, thanks for coming in this morning. We'll
thanks
see
for
you
having
later
me.
tonight at FedEx Forum. Grizzlies Thunder, 8:30 here from Memphis. We'll take a break. We'll be back with more on the other side.
Let's face it, there's a lot of trash talk in basketball, but the great teams let their performance do the talking. Like Ford F-150 with Pro Power on board, a class-exclusive industry-first feature that turns your truck into a mobile generator and leaves the competition speechless. Ford F-150, official truck of the Grizzlies. Greatness starts here at your Mid-South Ford dealer. Class is full-size pickups under 8,500 pounds, GBWR.
With a knockaway.
Good defense.
Durant attacking, spinning, hanging, and hitting.
Sonic Radio. Welcome back to Sonic RNDIO. That spells radio with me, the CIO. This just in, the new Sonic $1.99 menu lets you build a crave-worthy meal for just $1.99 an item. Whether that's a creamy shake, crispy tots, or a quarter-pound double cheeseburger. This just out. Ostriches. They're mean, not very cute, and in my opinion, way too big for a bird. Don't miss the Sonic Fun 99 menu. 5 items, always $1.99. Live free, eat Sonic.
Tax not included. See menu for details.
Thanks for showing up, Memphis. Nothing compares to catching your Grizzlies IRL. And that all starts with buying tickets at Ticketmaster, the official ticket marketplace of the Memphis Grizzlies and the NBA. Ticketmaster gets you to the game so you can catch every highlight. Put that jersey collection to use for the next game and get Grizzlies tickets at Ticketmaster. Whether they're here at FedEx Forum or on the road, Ticketmaster's got your back when it comes to scoring tickets. And there's no better brag than saying you saw it live.
All you American wrestling fans out there, watching this international road to WrestleMania should be a wake-up call. Turn up at these shows. Stop being so spoiled, because Cody Rhodes, Cody Rhodes, Cody Rhodes,
I love it.
Cody Rhodes.
Let's go, Cena. Cena sucks.
Yeah.
I'm wabbing my finger because you're telling those people that they need to do better.
Yeah.
Tune in to Grind City Wrestling weekly on the Grind City Media app and on the Grind City Media YouTube channel.
Debo traded from San Francisco to the Commanders for a 5th round pick. There's no other sport where you would get a player of his ilk for a 5th round pick.
Over under total yards for Debo. If they set it at 1,000, you think he hits that over?
Total yards?
Total yards from scrimmage. Total yards.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
The Odds Couple, live at 2 p.m. on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
In honor of George Foreman, decided to do a pick 6 on 6 greatest heavyweight boxers of all time.
Number 4, my guy, Mike Tyson. There is no greater feat that I've had. Like, if I had my Mount Rushmore of things that I've accomplished in my life, the very first time I beat Mike Tyson in Mike Tyson Punch-Out.
Get all of your HBCU sports and culture news by tuning in to HBCU Huddle with CJ Hurt and Mike Wallace. New episodes drop every Thursday on grindcitymedia.com, YouTube, and Spotify.
All right, welcome back. I did want to send a big consensual heart hand to TERESA Walker and her son, who is getting married this weekend. TERESA, we gave the morning off because it is NFL draft day, but more importantly in her life, that we gave her the morning off?
We can't give legends the morning off, can we? Like, do you think Phil Jackson said,
she literally texted me.
Phil is a legend.
Here's the thing. We forgot to take her out of the tweet, so we gave her a fright.
Oh,
so she
that's
texted
my
me
fault.
at 8:05. Am I
get a
joining
better
y'all
producer.
today? If so, I need to get ready. But do you love how she's like, if so, I need to get ready, because she would do it? Like, that's just who TERESA is. Her son is getting married. It's all rehearsal day, everything. And she still would have taken the time. But no, we wanted to make sure that she was able to do whatever she needs to do. And she did have a busy morning, because then the Titans went and signed Tyler Lockett this morning, reportedly, allegedly, giving Cam Ward a weapon.
What a terrible idea for that franchise. Do you believe Cam Ward is?
As somebody who was enamored with Cam Ward when he was at Washington State, and then wasn't as obsessed with his play at Miami, I do still believe in him. And you need a quarterback. Like, you don't have it. You don't have it in Tennessee.
Yeah, you don't have.
But you need something.
You don't have a line, or you got running backs. You don't have a receiver. You don't have cornerbacks.
You technically have a line.
You technically have a quarterback if you want to throw Mayo McNair out there.
No,
knock
I don't think we
yourself
can
out.
even give the technicality standpoint
Just throw
now.
him out there and see what happens. Get into the Aaron Rodgers sweepstakes. See what happens. You can go out there.
My
Technically
new dream,
speaking,
but it's also my nightmare. I want Shedeur Sanders to fall to 21, and the Pittsburgh Steelers
And the
take
Steelers take
Shedeur.
him.
And I want them to also have Aaron Rodgers. And I want a quarterback room of Aaron Rodgers and Shedeur Sanders and Prime in the distance. That is. And I want Hard Knocks to come back. That might be the only thing that could get me to watch Hard Knocks again.
Is Aaron Rodgers a bad coworker?
I don't know.
I don't think he has been. Has he? Like,
He's
I
that
can't.
weird coworker.
Yeah, bad and weird are different, right? Like, I'm the weird coworker. I don't think I might be bad. Bad example. But like, I think that
Are you the Aaron Rodgers of Grind City Media?
as the most correct person on these airways, as the furthest right person on these airways, I might be.
Interesting.
But I would
But
think
your coworkers
in
love
that
you, and I
locker room-
think Aaron Rodgers' teammates have always
I think
stood
in
up for him.
I think in the locker
Yeah.
room, as it pertains to those two in particular, while it's big personalities, big egos, I think Shedeur would shut the hell up and listen to what Aaron Rodgers has to say.
I think so, too.
And that might be good for
Yeah,
Shedeur.
a good
it won't
learning
be. It
standpoint.
won't be near as entertaining or interesting. Rodgers iced Jordan Love. That's who it was,
Oh.
didn't he? Didn't he kind of ice
Yeah,
him?
but now he's in a different position,
Right,
and I do
right.
think there would be a dual respect on both sides.
And understanding that the end is now for Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah.
So, and this is the future. I don't know why the Titans don't just get the best damn football player. You're not a quarterback away from anything of significance. And I would think that Cam Ward, well, I guess if we just did a talent, if we went to somebody, one of the respected scouts, and said, okay, just based off of talent, where do you have these guys ranked? I would think Cam Ward would be 15-ish, maybe 20-ish. So You're bad if you're the Titans. Go get Carter. Change your defense. All right, get somebody who's going to get the quarterback. Go get Travis Hunter.
I believe so heartily in Travis Hunter's abilities and his ability to genuinely help change a franchise without being a quarterback, because so often we say change a franchise and it gets put in the hands of a quarterback, and it makes sense. But I think Travis Hunter is that kind of player where you just add the best option.
You're getting two positions in the for the price
talking yourself
of one.
into Cam Ward too. He's a very talented quarterback. Don't get me wrong, but you never know if a very talented quarterback becomes your franchise quarterback of the future.
You say that about everything.
Sure.
Also,
but
here's my question. Here's my question is, great. You're right. Cam Ward is a very talented quarterback. Travis Hunter is a very talented football player, cornerback and wide receiver. Like, who's more talented? Who's more talented for what they are?
Travis Hunter.
All right, that's the pick.
I know.
Travis Hunter, Abdul Carter. Who do you think is the more talented one at what they are? Period. The end. You make the pick. Whichever one that is. It doesn't. The way we reach as a society on these okay quarterbacks is what gets these franchises in trouble. I am firmly, staunchly, is Alex in the chat today? I hope Alex is around. I know Darnell is listening because we've had knockdown, drag him out conversations about this. I am staunchly against reaching on a quarterback in the hopes that one day he becomes something great. If you're not great right now, that's fine. I won't reach to get you. You got the number 1 overall pick. You're the Titans. You're bad everywhere. Trade out of it, get more assets, and then pick somebody who will be there. And you don't even have to trade far. Yeah. I bet you could fleece the Giants right now. I bet you could fleece maybe even the Cowboys right now for something like that. You could get you some draft picks and still remain in the top 10 in the NFL draft and come away with a really good guard or a tackle or some defensive linemen. Mason Graham is floating around out there in the 5-6 range, right? You can move back and still get somebody really, really talented. You don't have to reach on Cam Ward.
We will see how the NFL draft plays out tonight. Also, more NBA action tonight outside of the Grizzlies Thunder game. You also get Clippers Nuggets game 3, which is probably the most anticipated game, although I will put Knicks Pistons right up there because I'm willing to have a delusional amount of belief in the Pistons actually pulling off an upset in this series. And I think the environment in Detroit tonight is going to be a wild one coming off of their game 2 in New York. Looking at the other games from last night, we went pretty heavy on the Rockets-Warriors game. If the Magic were going to steal one on the Celtics, it felt like last night was the night to do it. No Jason Tatum for Boston as he dealt with that wrist injury that he took in game 1. But you had Jaylen Brown go off for 36. Kristaps Porzingis, as we mentioned, gets the boot to the head and comes back, and that's the playoffs. And I don't know if the Magic get a game now. That felt like their best chance.
I mean, they're going home.
They are.
Jessica.
A series doesn't start until the home team loses a game.
Has a home team lost a game yet?
Bart Simpson, writing it over and over again on the chalkboard.
We don't have very many playoff series that have started. The Rockets series has started. The Lakers series has started.
The Clippers-Nuggets series
Clippers-Nuggets has started, and that's it.
Yeah.
Thunder-Grizzlies hasn't started yet.
Cavs-Heat hasn't started yet. And I did watch. That Heat team fought. And again, they got it within 9. I need the Grizzlies to be within 9. I think the Grizzlies are 9-point underdogs. It might have gone down at this point. But make it a single-digit game.
They're only 9?
Yeah, they're only 9.
Oh.
They were 13 in game 1.
14 and
14 and a half game 2.
9. Do you guys understand that, Grizz Nation? Vegas is saying you are the difference of 5.5 NBA points. That's how important you are. You are so important that you move lines by 5.5 points.
You know the cliche of role players play better at home, too? I'm going to give that at least 1 point, maybe. God, they have to do something. Our bench didn't score in the second half of game 2.
Don't throw that to me, because I don't expect them dudes to do anything off of the bench. For me, it all rests on those 3.
Of course, it rests on the 3, but
let me
1
be clear.
point, I think asking for a point is not out of hand.
I think it is.
God bless.
We've got furniture to move. It'll be those 3 doing the lifting, and everybody else can sort of hang out and bring the vibe and
Yeah,
the
you can hang
ambiance.
out, but you can also
Nah.
You can't just
Nah.
hang out. You have to at least bring the cups. The bench has to at least bring the cups. You don't have to trust them to bring a main. You don't even have to trust them to bring the store-bought cookies, but you can bring the cups. Napkins?
They just sort of show up.
No.
And I'm be honest, don't know if they're invited. I know I wouldn't invite some of them. I wouldn't invite them.
What are they, vampires?
Well, hey, yo. I was going to wait. Since you brought it up. I'm more than frolicking about, and I get to the edge of my walk up here above Tom Lee Park. So I'm walking up there. They got it blocked off. I get to the end of it. I'm finna turn and walk back. So I peek over my shoulder, make sure I'm not turning into anybody. And there's a nice white gentleman with the booty jogger shorts on. It's like, oh, you're getting ready for a marathon. You've been running outside for a while. And he's jogging at me. Perfect physical physique. It's like, oh, okay. He's a ways back. So I get to the edge and I turn around and I don't see him anymore. And the way my heart sank into my stomach as my feet start moving, I'm like, where did this white man go? Where is he at? He had passed me as I turned around. I didn't even notice it. So I look back over my shoulder now, and I'm a ways away. He took a break. He's looking out over the water, and I'm bopping about now, got the music going, and I feel this whoosh, and I look up, and he's running back by me. I'm like, nope, get me the hell out of here. I am now terrified. And thank goodness the sun was up. Otherwise, I would have screamed.
CJ.
What?
Not all white people are vampires.
Are you sure?
Boom, boom, boom.
Because it's real scary. I might, not on some racist stuff, I might never invite a white person into my house.
Aw.
That's
too bad.
Like,
We're overdue.
You're coming to my house?
Yeah.
I say, oh, Jessica's here.
Yeah.
I'll do this. Hello, Jessica.
And I stand on the porch?
If you stand on the porch, you're not getting in.
Oh, I see. So I have to take. But I was raised to be polite.
And if you don't come in,
But if you don't invite me into your home, that sounds like something a vampire would say. Hey, before we take a break, because we are going to talk about sinners, but I wanted to shout out one of the coolest things that I have seen a professional sports team do in a minute from a standpoint of like adding to a game. We see the shirts, we see the towels, we hear the music, we have streamers, we have confetti, we have pyrotechnics, we have Red Panda. But last night in Cleveland, we had fake snow. Because in Cleveland all season long, they have called big runs that this team makes a cavalanche, right? Like it's the nature of an avalanche. Once they start scoring, it piles on. And yesterday they had a 17-4 run in the second quarter where they go up like 16. I think Max Strus hit a 3. They're up 16. And they released fake snow in the upper deck. And this is one of the more creative stunts that I've seen, but I am obsessed with it. And I don't know when the last time you were around fake snow is. Have you been around? CJ. Fake snow is magical. Like, let me close your eyes. Close your eyes. Imagine you're at Disneyland. It's 85 degrees. You've been sweating all day. You stood in a 2-hour line to go on Space Mountain. And that's the only air, the whooshing of Space Mountain. But you're hot, you're tired, you've got a Mickey-shaped pretzel, the sun has gone down, and you're ready to watch fireworks. And guess what? It's December. Yeah, it's an 80-degree day in December. And suddenly, snow starts falling from the beautiful, we'll say Disney World, Florida sky. And it is the most beautiful, magical. I cannot believe Jacob doesn't have a camera on you with your tongue out catching these invisible snowflakes because you really committed to the bit as we were going through this exercise. Jacob says he was taking his shirt off, so we could not show him.
Wait, is that a directive now?
I don't know. Sounds like it to me. If the middies are out, we're not allowed. Jacob's trying to protect you.
I can't be protected.
He's trying to protect you. God bless.
I will not be white savior.
My mother is in the studio right now.
Oh, I forgot.
Respect your elders.
I apologize.
Anyway, fake snow is pretty cool. I don't know what we'll see next. And I did wonder, I mean, it's not actual precipitation. It's just like foam.
What is fake snow made
Usually
of?
it's like detergent. I think that's what they use in Disney, is like laundry detergent.
Oh, that would be salty on the tongue.
No, yeah, you don't want to catch it on your tongue. Yeah. That'd be gross. Anyway,
that's real gross.
Shout out the Cavs. Shout out risk taking, because it could have gone really poorly, and instead I thought it looked really cool.
Yeah.
And they ended up winning. And also doing it in the second quarter is dicey, because like if you release the Cavalanche in the second and you don't win, then you just had it snow for nothing in April. All right, we'll take a break. We'll come back. CJ and I are going to talk about Sinners. Spoilers ahead.
No, wait, we're going to spoil it?
Are we?
No.
I thought the whole point was we talked about it on Monday.
We didn't get into it.
Okay, fine. We'll get into it and
we will do our best to avoid spoilers.
Sure.
Because Luke hasn't seen it yet still. We can't make him clip
That's
things and he
true.
hadn't seen it.
That's true.
We can have conversations around
We'll have
the
conversations
scenes.
around it.
Yeah.
Without spoiling.
Yes.
Okay. We'll do our best. And we'll talk about Michael B. Jordan. ×2.
You know what's great? I saw Michael B. Jordan and Kugler on the red carpet, and I was like, where's Michael B.'s brother at?
No, do not elevate Kugler into that.
There's nothing like playoff basketball. Boy, nothing like playoff basketball in Memphis.
The atmosphere of a Grizzlies playoff game is super exciting.
Oh my God, it's absolutely electric. I love seeing the crowd out.
Everybody's just screaming their heads off. You feel like you're in a movie.
People are down here. Everyone's got on their Grizz gear.
The city's excited. Everybody's excited to watch. There's really nothing like it, and I really can't wait.
Kroger shoppers and Grizz fans, want exclusive last-minute discounted ticket deals texted straight to you during the Grizzlies 2024-2025 season? Sign up with the new Kroger Buzzer Beater deal. Fans can sign up by texting Grizz to 636-479 or visit your local Kroger store in the Delta Division and scan the QR code. By signing up, you agree to receive recurring automated promotional and personalized marketing text messages from the Memphis Grizzlies. Consent is not a condition of any purchase. Message frequency varies. Message and data rates may apply.
Thanks for showing up, Memphis. Nothing beats catching your Grizzlies IRL, and nobody knows that better than you. So next time you want to hit up a game, Ticketmaster's got your back with tickets to every upcoming matchup. Whether you're catching the Grizzlies at home or on the road, you'll find tickets at Ticketmaster, the official ticket marketplace of the Memphis Grizzlies and the NBA. Keep putting that jersey collection to use and get Grizzlies tickets today. There's no better brag than saying you saw it live. See you courtside again soon, Memphis.
Marcus Thornton could get buckets.
Don't do that.
You don't
to
say? He had a lot of 30 balls in the NBA.
On who?
We better not see Marcus Thornton crosses over Tony Allen.
Yeah,
don't let us find that.
You
Don't let us.
You forgot we got the internet, bro.
You said you might have done that. Hey, you always forget the internet exists.
The Chris Vernon Show, live on weekdays at noon on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
I see people who look like me and were born probably in the same decade as me, watching all of these young people jump into the transfer portal and saying, it's ridiculous. You got to stop thinking about this like it's a normal college experience. It is not. You know what the priority is? Maximize your earning potential for every year of eligibility you have left. That's what this is about now. These are jobs.
The Gary Parrish Show, live on weekdays at 10 a.m. on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
We touched on this earlier, the panel here, about what really has been the mainstay of the Grizzlies, and that's Jaren Jackson Jr. Trip has just been awesome.
He's posting guys up. He's stronger than he's ever been. He's physical, and he's scoring all type of ways.
Hey, Grizzlies fans, be sure to tune in to Grizzbeat, where the panel and I break down all things Grizzlies and take a look at the rest of the NBA as well. The show is live every Wednesday, 2 p.m. on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
Welcome back. It is Thursday. That means it's time for a little Theater Thursday, some movie news. We're going to do a draft tomorrow, and in honor of the NFL draft, we are going to draft the best #1 draft picks since the year 2000. I think that's the limitation that we put on it so that it allows us to be a little more focused.
Which sports league?
The National Football League. National Football League, #1 picks since the year 2000. We will be drafting the best. As it comes to Theater Thursday, Sinners continues to be the movie, the moment of the season. It is the most talked about movie of the moment, and it continues to be the most watched movie. It obviously had the best opening weekend at the box office in the last decade, and it continues to do numbers. I saw so many people sharing screenshots this week of theaters on a Tuesday, a Wednesday, a Monday, and they were nearly completely sold out. A lot of people are making sure that they see it in IMAX, which is the recommended viewing experience. If you look at this theater, I think this was the Lincoln Square, which is in New York City. Elite theater, by the way. Like, if I lived in New York, I would exclusively go to that theater all the time. That's just me. If you go to an IMAX movie and you sit in the corner, like, I think there was just one seat available in the corner, that's diabolical behavior. I understand wanting to see the movie, but far corner, front row, is a crazy place to have to watch.
You've never had to sit?
I have, and I hate it. I did it once, and I cannot remember for the life of me what the movie was. I remember when I was a kid, it wasn't IMAX. I saw The Mummy, I think The Mummy Returns, in the front row, and I was like, I'm never doing this again. And then I ended up seeing some IMAX when I was in college, and I don't even think it was the front row. I think it was the second row, and you get a crink in your neck. It's just not very comfortable. Where did you guys sit?
We always sit in the tippity top.
Oh, you're a topper.
And we saw it the Friday it came out. So we saw it Friday afternoon 1 in IMAX. And so we sit in the top. Yeah, I try and spread out, but it was packed, so we couldn't spread all the way out. I don't know, ever since I was younger, I like to be away from people just in case stuff pops off.
I like to be close to an exit, typically, but my husband loves to sit in the middle, like smack dab in the middle. So better sacrifice himself for me if something pops off.
He doesn't seem like he likes a lot of contact, Jessica.
Oh,
He's
I actually
complaining
think
about
he
Steph.
would. I thought about this the other week because these are the gross things that I think about, and I would feel so guilty. But I think he would like lay down his life for me.
Okay.
I think he would dive on top of me and try to shield me from
harm.
Yeah. He likes contact. He just likes Steph Curry to go untouched.
Listen, hey, I know he'll dive and protect his baby Steph.
He would protect Steph.
I know he's gonna protect Steph.
I'm like an 80-20 chance, but Steph is a straight 100.
I give you 90-10, but Steph is a straight 100.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
As you have sat within this movie for close to a week now and read about it, listened about it, thought about it further, what stands out to you?
I hadn't read about it. I don't like doing that. I'm not one of those people who, and I understand that when there's this type of artistic thing happening, to know and fully grasp the extent of it, you do need some sort of additional commentary on it. I like to try and figure it out on my own and have my interpretations before I start listening to other interpretations. But I will be seeing this again, and I don't see movies in theaters more than once. I will be seeing this, and I will buy it also physical media because it is such an important movie. It feels like something different is happening, but from a scheme thing, when we talk about the cacophony of cultural expression, right? I've mentioned that before, and we've talked about it. It reminded me of something, and I couldn't figure out what it was, and it's the Sugar Shack painting. For those who don't know the Sugar Shack painting, it was the last painting in Good Times. So Good Times, the show would end, and then it would always zoom in on this painting on the wall. It was on Marvin Gaye, the cover of one of Marvin Gaye's album. And so you look at that painting and you see what's taking place in that moment. And it's like, oh, that's what it reminds me of. And I do believe that Coogler released a poster paying homage to that painting using the Sinners cast and the Sinners characters. And it's just another one of those things where the musical expression in Sinners and what that means to a culture of people and protecting that people's culture, what it means to Coogler and how he views himself as a steward of Black culture in the movie medium. I think it's one of those things that is just so well thought out, so great. I love the way that the music is used in this movie. It doesn't feel. This is why original scores are so important, Jessica. We talk about it all the time on this show. If you can't just lean on songs that we already have an emotional connection to. You can't just constantly keep leaning on nostalgia. If you do a good score can make a movie better. right? So if it's an okay movie, a good score can make it good. If it's good, it can make it great. If it's great, it can make it elite. If it's elite, like this movie would be without this score, a good score makes it one of the best movies of all time. Like we've got to get back to doing more original scores.
And it's the attention to detail that both Coogler in partnership with Ludwig Göransson, and they've now worked together on a handful of projects. He did Black Panther: Wakanda Forever. They did that together. I think he did Oppenheimer with Nolan most recently, so he's growing in his bag. I think he did the original Black Panther too. I think they've done both Black Panthers together. I think they did Creed together. They met at USC. That's where they became friends. And I'm so grateful that that partnership existed, because I think some of the greatest directors of all time, their partnership with a great composer makes everything. You think about Steven Spielberg's and John Williams and the music that they created, from Jaws to Jurassic Park and everything in between. The score is just as iconic as the movie, and it really is a true synergy between those things. And this movie is so much about music that it just makes the whole thing sing, for lack of a better metaphor. But I loved to find out, because I am the person who goes and tries to listen to the director in this standpoint. Ryan Coogler has been on a handful of podcasts and shows and done a ton of interviews, and I'm really fascinated to find out more about the process. I try to sit in it for a night by myself and come up and conjure, because everybody views this differently. And Ryan Coogler has said one of the main themes or the purposes behind this movie is just different dichotomy. And you can view this differently than I viewed it. I can view it differently than you viewed it. We both could view it differently than what he as the director was going for. And there's just so many different things running at the same time, both theme-wise and symbolism and character study, and even just the vision of time periods and whatnot. But the music is the thing that holds it all together. And those two came to Memphis, and they met with Boo Mitchell, and they drove around the Mississippi Delta to ensure that they had a true, authentic grasp on blues music, and particularly the music of this region. And that's the kind of research and attention to detail that just makes movies awesome to me.
Not just that. Yes, there was that piece of it. Everything. The detail in this is incredible. Stumbled across an Asian American woman who had the thread. Hey, I was a assistant on this movie, and it was because Ryan Coogler wanted to get the Asian experience right. He found out that through the Delta, he has ancestors who are Asian American, because they come over. For those who don't know, the slavery ends, and out of necessity and or spite, white people in the South decide, you know what? Let's go get some Asians to come over here. We'll hire them to do the work in the fields, and we won't hire the black people who've been doing the works in the fields. That'll show them how dare they want freedom, right? And so the Asians come over, and they look around yeah, no, we don't want to do this. And so they're already over here. And so, boom, they start doing other things, helping the American South and America as a whole. And so, unfortunately for the white people, they got to go back and hire the black people. They don't pay them a whole lot. Anyways, and so that's how Asians get over here into the South. And that storyline is great. They end up, for some of them who have family money, they end up opening various stores and shops. That's why the Asian family has two shops, the white shop and the black shop, and they're able to move freely between both worlds, which they still can move freely between both worlds. When we think about something as simple as dating, right? Everybody, this was a study that was done, found men, black, white, Latino. Everybody had Asian women most desirable. And then from there, Asian Americans can move into places of higher education a bit better. So they can go and get educated. Because while the South is segregated at that time, and while it's kind of still segregated now, that segregation didn't work for Asians. There were laws on the books saying, hey, Asian Americans can't be in these white schools, but the white people were like, they're fine, let them come through, right? So I can say confidently that while they are a minority, they are one of those desirable minorities over here, and they were then also, and how that storyline plays out, right? When you get to the scene where it's one of the big scenes, and it is, oh my gosh, how could she? Why would she? Because she has no affinity, no real connection, no real tie to the community of Black people. Her ties to herself and her family. You can argue whether or not that's selfish or whether or not that's rightfully so, but that's who her connection is to. So it only makes sense for her to be the one that serves as sort of the catalyst for the big moments of intensity. Also, it makes sense for the bad guy, the monster, to be an Irishman. Yeah. Right? You think about the connection, the dichotomy, you brought it up, Jessica, and the connection, right, of being an oppressed Irish person and an oppressed Black person. There is a whole lot of connection there. There's a whole lot of through line there. The difference is that one is white, one is Black, and you can use that whiteness in a way to get what you want and get what you need, and Blackness cannot be used in the same sort of way. All in all, again, just a phenomenal movie.
Yeah, and I love, choosing to make the villain Irish was incredibly intentional, and even there's a portion where, you understand who this villain is, and at one point you see him running from Native people, and then the next moment, it's not a spoiler.
No.
Oh, I thought you were getting mad at me.
Just a moment. just a moment for the natives.
Oh,
Just a
so
moment.
Everybody, this is something that happens because there's a mid-scene credit moment, and our brains are so, and I don't mean this negatively, but the Marvelification of our brains means mid-credit scene, there's going to be a sequel. This is setting us up for a sequel. No, it was a perfect ending. So don't leave. And then there's even an end credit scene that is less necessary to the plot, but also still a really beautiful moment. And when you talk about the use of music, not just being a score, but also music supervision and the choice of using the song that they used to open the movie, which also ends the movie. But yeah, the natives are there for just a hot second. I would love a prequel of how they got to that moment, because I'm fascinated, but it is such an interesting, just from a people of the land, people who have come to this land, and the essential, I don't want to call it a war of immigrants, but the varying degrees of survival and the necessity of survival from immigrants who come to this country. But deciding to make him Irish, when you have a villain who really does identify with the people that he is both trying to hurt, but there is this general belief that he's trying to help. And that's one of the scariest things in the world, is allyship that has well-meaning, but is actually detrimental to a culture.
Smells a whole lot like missionary work.
Yes. And there's a lot of religious imagery and themes that run throughout this movie as well.
I'm sorry for cutting you off. I got to go see the movie if for no other reason than that baptism scene.
Yes.
I know stuff is happening.
I went back and watched the baptism scene.
Okay, I need to see the baptism
scene. And
to
understand, and you go back to the similarities between Irish people, and I'm not talking about Irish Americans. I do think some people have jumped, and you're trying to view this movie that's set in the 1930s through a 2025 lens, which is what we do, and that's what happens because the movie is made now. But there's a lot of backstory then too, and so you're not necessarily talking about Irish Americans, although that has a layer too. But you're talking about the true Irish people of the country of Ireland who were also colonized and had to deal with the British monarchy and the colonization and Christianity forced on their people. But CJ, as you bring up, the main thing is that ultimately they're white. And so a proximity to whiteness allows you to exist in a different world, or a different just closeness to power and opportunities of safety and freedom. And freedom is a big theme of the movie too.
Almost like whiteness gives you some type of privilege over here that it doesn't give you in other parts of the world.
Interesting.
Where you're white in Ireland and you're being oppressed. Right, the British monarchy coming in, taking over, and if I recall history class correctly, and I got a 75, was one of my better classes in high school. It was a Protestant versus Catholic type thing, and the British were Catholic, the British were Protestants, the Catholics were Irish, and that was the closest Catholic the British could get to.
Yes.
And so immediately they went up there and got at them. So you're being oppressed over there. You get on a ship, you say, all right, I got to leave here. It's dangerous, it's reckless. They're killing us. We got to go. You get on the ship and you leave the land where all you know is oppression, and you land over here, and it's like, oh, why is everybody so nice to me until I speak? Oh, it's this thing.
Yeah.
It's this thing. There's a privilege which comes with whiteness, and you look around and realize I don't have anything fresh off of this boat, a fresh immigrant over here. I have nothing but status over black people. That's all I have. All I have.
All the other white people hate me.
All the
the
other
second
white
they
people
find
hate
out
me.
I'm from Ireland.
They all hate,
or insert country here.
Italy.
Yeah.
Right. Italians. We weren't real nice to them. Also another Catholic country. The second they find out from there, I'm screwed. But at least I'm not as bad as those darkies over there. At least I'm not as bad as those black people over there. And that's why a place like Boston, historically speaking, has had to battle with major bouts of racial tension and true aggression towards black people, because that was the only thing that they had going for them, was being better than blacks and doing whatever they could to keep blacks in their place, so to speak.
Luckily, black people have made incredible music for the test of time, and Irish people have made some bangers too, because both the I Lied to You song, which is a scene in the movie that if you see the movie, you'll never forget that scene for the rest of your life. But also Rocky Road to Dublin is a bop. Like, both of those have been instantly inserted into my consistent playlist of the year.
The way, and this is a cultural conversation, and we don't have time to get into the culture of America. We're talking about this movie. That's how great the movie is.
One of my favorite kind of movies.
The way that you have to just get rid of your culture to be protected over here comes through several times in that movie, where, hey, all you have to do is change your culture and you'll be fine. The jig you're talking about, absolute banger. I drain pour, what's her name? Dry.
The Robin.
I drain pour
It's
Robin.
Pick the Robin clean.
Pick the Robin. Pick the Robin clean.
That song's scary as hell, though, man.
But when they
like,
first,
I'm like, listen to the lyrics.
Yes, when they first do it,
it has a nice little folky.
It's goofy. It's
bop to
corny.
it.
Everybody's looking at them like, get this out of here. That has no taste. That is nothing. That has no. Do you see the way we shaking ass in here? We can't get jiggy to this.
No.
What are you talking about?
But Rocky Road to Dublin, we can all go through with it. But what I was
you
going
get
to say
rid of
is
Rocky Road
you
to
don't-
be safe. Go
either
ahead.
you can't tap into your culture, or you have to give your culture to
The predator.
the predator.
To be preyed upon.
And then, I mean, there's like a true culture vulture narrative that occurs here, because like you want it, like you crave it. Like he hears this and it's like, and there's like supernatural things going around it too that perhaps he wants, and you can get into that. But yeah, it's really, really good. Like, just top to bottom, it's a great movie. And the decision to use vampires, I think, is perfect, because I can't talk about this movie, I can't finish talking about this movie without saying this is a sexy movie, and there's a sexiness that comes with vampires. Like, we just saw it with Nosferatu earlier this year. Like, there's a sexiness surrounding vampire stories, and that plays a role in this movie as well. But they're also human. Like, if you're gonna choose a magical character to deal with, what do we call them? A monster, a movie monster, like a werewolf or a shapeshifter or a zombie,
witch.
There's something so sexily sinister about vampires, because they can play as human, and they're always smart. There's like a knowledge piece to vampires. They know how to play a situation. And I was listening to one of Coogler's interviews, and you will never guess who he said was a part inspiration for this particular vampire.
True Blood.
No, it's even better.
Who? What?
Puss in Boots: The Last Wish.
Turn up.
If you look at the eyes, and that's not a vampire, but just in terms of like characterization, Puss in Boots: The Last Wish.
Pay attention to the way colors used with the eyes and with garments as well. Not to spoil anything. Not gonna get too far into it, but pay attention to that. And now that I can see it, because Last Wish had the big bad wolf coming to get Puss, right? Yeah.
But it's the eyes.
Because
specifically the eyes.
All you see are the wolf's eyes before the rest of him.
And I think the
pops on
person who
screen.
storyboarded The Last Wish also storyboarded The Iron Giant, but storyboarded a lot of
another
Sinners.
where when you see Iron Giant, one of the first things the thing that startles you is the eyes. That's good. We don't have much time here. Do you want to share your favorite character and why, or do we want to just thirst over Michael B. Jordan's
I
arms?
thirst over Michael B. Jordan.
Ooh, those arms. Jessica, when
At the end.
Oh my
God.
I
will
can hear
say,
the moisture in the
I feel like
studio,
as a
or in
Memphian,
the,
I am obligated.
theater.
I am obligated to say this. There is a moment within this movie where a grenade is used, and when that grenade got picked up, a person behind me in the theater goes, "Ja!" and that's influence. Sinners, Ja, Grizzlies Thunder, Game 3 tonight.
Another attention to
at FedEx
detail.
Forum.
Kugler is paying attention.
He's an NBA fan. What can you say?
He's paying attention.
What can you
Ja
say?
plays in the Delta. Technically, is this the Delta or is this the Mid-South? This isn't the
Technically.
Delta. I think this is Mid-South.
Have you been to Clarksdale?
I think I've driven through it on
You
my
should
way
go.
places.
You should go. I went for one night.
All right.
And the blues clubs that exist there are like so special. I think it's what actor has a place there? Samuel L. Jackson has a bar there, which sometimes I guess he frequents. But then there are these underground clubs that you just go into, no phones, like you're not supposed to talk. It's very serious, but it's just underground blues being played, and it's awesome. And then you can walk to the train tracks where Robert Johnson sold his soul to the devil, and that's a whole other theme used in this movie. But shout out Clarksdale, shout out Delta, shout out Grizzlies, shout out Sinners. We'll be back tomorrow. It'll be a Friday. Hell yeah. We'll see you then. Grizzlies tonight. We'll see if we're doing Grizzlies highlights in the morning. We better see you at FedEx Forum tonight. Put your growl towel in the air. Wave it like you just don't care. Bye.
Was it Samuel L. Jackson or Morgan Freeman?
Oh, it's Morgan Freeman. That's 2 in 1 week. Oh, no.